One of the greatest coaching careers in the history of college sports has come to an end. After 50 historic years at UCLA, Al Scates leaves an unmatched legacy of success, longevity, and influence in collegiate men's volleyball.
Al Scates, undisputed, the best coach to ever coach collegiate volleyball.
Born on June 13, 1939 in Los Angeles, Al Scates hadn't planned on a volleyball career. It was while he was playing football at Santa Monica College that his coach urged Scates to try out for the volleyball team. Although he was cut in 5 minutes, Scates found the sport intriguing, and each weekend he honed his skills at the beach, eventually rising to the top of his competition. Scates began his UCLA volleyball career as a student athlete in 1959. He was named an All-American multiple times, and he later married his high school sweetheart, Sue, in 1961.
I came to UCLA and I interviewed with Wilbur Johns, who was the athletic director at that time. And I indicated to Wilbur that, of course, I couldn't take a salary because I'm an amateur athlete and I wanted to play in the Olympics. At that point, he jumped up, shook hands with me and said, "Congratulations, son, you're hired."
Scates helped legitimize volleyball as an NCAA sport. In the early years, Scates' teams wore handed-down basketball jerseys given to him by none other than Coach John Wooden.
When watching Al teach and seeing he was rather meticulous about his organization, I felt that he would do extremely well.
When JD saw 5,000 paying customers in Poly Pavilion, he decided he wanted volleyball to become an NCAA sport. In 1970, it did become an NCAA sport. We won the first 3 NCAA championships.
Al has dominated college volleyball. He's won 10 out of the 14 NCAA championships.
A devoted UCLA Bruin for the better part of his life, Scates spent 50 years coaching the UCLA men's volleyball team.
Scates sitting right back behind there. Look at that look of concentration on his face.
His passion, vision, and profound leadership were the driving force of a historic program that has amassed 19 NCAA championships and more than 1,200 victories.
There it is. There it is. UCLA has won the NCAA Volleyball Championship.
It's championship point again. It's over. UCLA wins their 4th straight championship volleyball title.
We were down a lot of points. The boys didn't give up and kept scrambling.
Out of bounds. That's it.
UCLA has won their 12th national championship. That was a great game for volleyball, for the spectators. It was a great comeback by the UCLA team. There were some great rallies involved. It was fantastic.
Scates remains the only coach to guide his team to 3 successive titles 3 separate times.
That third game, we were in the worst possible matchup we could have been in. But we just had to get it back, keep our composure, not get down, keep our head up.
He carefully designed practice environments that produce precision, execution, and fierce competition. The Mighty Bruins were an extension of their coach, known among his players as the ultimate competitor.
He brought a healthy competition to everyday practice and made each of us strive to be better.
What he did for me was create this platform for me and all these other athletes to come to a place where you could compete, play against other really talented players, go out there, win championships, build character. And without that platform, I wouldn't have been able to be the player that I was.
He was a great motivator. He did a great job of putting you in situations where you really felt you had to be your best all the time. You could never slack off.
I want somebody who takes the game seriously. Somebody who might kick over a few chairs, kick the ball in the air. I don't mind that. I'm not looking to give out sportsmanship awards. I want people who hate to lose playing for me.
Scates' style of coaching is best explained by the bumper sticker stuck on the side of his white cloth bag. Great statistics are the best substitution for judgment.
I remember him pulling out stats of games that I thought were totally meaningless at the time.
Keeping detailed statistics of rotations and drills, Scates devised ways to highlight his players' strengths and suppress their weaknesses, all while bringing real game situations to practice.
He brought me in here and taught me the fast game, taught me how to think on the court, how to look for certain things.
You can teach confidence, and that's what Al does. And confidence doesn't just apply to sports, it applies to life.
The biggest thing that he's done for me is just he taught me how to win. Players that we used to play against will come up to me now and say, man, you guys were cocky. We weren't cocky, we just knew we were gonna win.
During his 6 decades at UCLA, Scates has coached 78 different first-team collegiate All-Americans, 44 U.S. national team members, 27 Olympians, and 7 different players of the year. He has also authored several books, traveled the world as a coach and clinician, and is recognized as one of the United States' foremost authorities on volleyball. The first ever Olympic gold medal in volleyball for the United States was achieved by a USA team that featured several of Scates' Bruins: Karch, Steve Sammons, and Dave Saunders. Scates showed his player the skill of the game and at the same time allowed them to discover the value of those skills and techniques for themselves. He would teach volleyball in a variety of ways and with such enthusiasm that his players couldn't help but develop their skills rapidly.
Going into Long Beach State, where we hadn't won in a long time, 1 win away from getting his 1,200th win. Prior to the game, Coach Scates is trying to fire us up. He was talking about how we gotta rise from the ashes like a phoenix. We ended up winning this crazy match, and everyone's celebrating stuff like that. Coach comes into the locker room, and he's like, just like I told you guys. But he drops down the floor, he's like, rise from the ashes like the phoenix. And he gets super excited, and everyone just went nuts.
He had an uncanny sense of individuals and how to get the most out of individuals, and he's done that throughout his whole career. The little thing that he was able to do to make players reach their potential was absolutely incredible.
The way he teaches and coaches and mentors is something that I've taken with me every day in my business life, in my family life, and personal life.
There's times when I might have fallen on my face a couple times, and he let me do it, and I'm a better person, and I was a better volleyball player because of the way he nurtured and taught us.
He really had that great opportunity in the respect of guiding us and making us men and having us do the correct thing and giving us that winning attitude.
Coach Scates has had quite an impact on my life. He's given me an opportunity to follow a career path. Really nobody better that I could have learned from, and no better place to have done so.
As a coach and an athlete who began and ended their career at the same institution, his connection will be forever tied to UCLA.
This is the steps to the old men's gym right here. It's now called the SAC, Student Activity Center. Well, I've been walking up these stairs for 54 years now. They do have an elevator, finally, but I might as well keep walking. I'm used to it. It brings back a lot of memories being in this gym. So thank you so much for naming this court after Sue and Al. Thank you so much.
This man was a legend, and I attribute my success here because I knew my coach and I got to know him very well.
I made some crazy play, and Skate sticks out his hand with a big old grin on his face and gives me a high five, and I just was lit up. And I looked up in the stands, and my mom and dad are like, yeah, you got a high five from him.
With his retirement, Coach Scates now can spend more time with his beloved wife, Sue, and enjoy the fruits of a long career. The two plan on doing some traveling together and spending time with their grandchildren. And of course, you'll also find Al on a local golf course stealing strokes from his friends.
Congratulations on such a wonderful career here at UCLA. You are what UCLA is.
You've had such a lasting impact on my life. I really appreciate everything that you've given to me and taught me along the way.
My time at UCLA was one of the greatest periods of my life.
Appreciate all your hard work and wish you the best.
You were family to me, and I thank you for your coaching and for your friendship.
Congratulations on your celebration of your amazing accomplishments.
I want to congratulate Al on a fantastic career as a coach. 19 victories in 50 seasons, will never be beaten.
Thanks for everything you've done for UCLA Volleyball. Have fun, and I wish I could be there.
Coach, you're the boss. Everything you've done for me in my life and for my family,
Thanks.
It's been a joy to come to work every day and just pick up the phone and talk to Al.
Thank you for all you've done for the sport of volleyball.
Thanks, Al Scates, for bringing me to UCLA.
Thank you for all the memories. Thanks for supporting me and encouraging me.
I can't thank you enough, and your wife Sue and your whole family. And you guys have been great.
You've touched so many people's lives throughout UCLA Volleyball. You're a legend.
Scates didn't put volleyball on the map so much as he drew the map. He didn't just dominate college volleyball, he practically invented it. Al Scates has served UCLA in an extraordinary fashion. He has forged the history, the tradition, the excitement, and the championships of UCLA volleyball. Al Scates, a legend.